are we up to
watch this? Yes,
watching
everyone.
stuff?
Yes. Anybody watch any movies?
I can't think of one thing I watched.
Not in a movie form or in any form?
In TV form, like other than like the usuals, like Jeopardy.
That's fine. No pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I didn't really watch anything new or exciting.
How's the season of Jeopardy? Who's hosting Jeopardy?
It's Ken Jennings.
So he got the job?
They're supposed to be alternating between Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik, but it's been Ken Jennings so far this new season. Every time Amy's been on, she's like the contestant du jour she won $1 million so far with her, what is it, almost 30 game winning streak?
Shit.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Pretty serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
She's a great player. It's impressive to watch.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right.
I watched. I haven't finished it yet. I watched half of the Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
The new one.
Yeah.
I am familiar with it. I've seen it.
Have you watched? You have watched it?
Yeah, he talked about it.
I watch it. Yeah, I watch it. Watch the whole thing.
I probably like tuned it out because I knew I was going to watch it. The first hour of it, the opening scene in particular, I thought was really well done. Like the choreography and everything, the fight choreography. So I've only watched half of it just because that's been when I could see a screen without a kid around me.
I understand that. I don't know. I don't think you'll hate it. I think there might be moments you're like, all right.
Oops.
The scene immediately after that was definitely like, it goes from, I don't remember, was it in Japan or was the first scene? Yeah. It's like at a dojo type that place. And it's between what becomes Scorpion and Sub-Zero, right?
Yes, it's then Scorpion Sub-Zero fight. Yes.
Right. And then the scene after that though immediately goes to like the UFC in a cage fighting match. Like it's like, oh, we've been in this scene a million times in every movie.
And it's got that guy, and you're like, who's this guy? Because you know what Mortal Kombat needed, the movie? It needed a new character.
That's a new character completely?
It's a completely new character.
I thought he was going to become something.
Nope. Welcome to new character. Because that's what Mortal Kombat needed. It was like,
more characters.
What? There's just not enough characters. We need like a new character. That's what everyone was saying about Mortal Kombat. I was on the message boards. The IRC Mortal Kombat page, and they were like, there's just not enough characters in the Mortal Kombat.
Is he at least a palette swap of another character?
No, he's not. No, he's not like purple. He's not a purple ninja, which might be better. But
I'm gonna watch the second half of it.
When you say it, I'm like remembering parts of the movie. There's some really dumb shit that happens in that movie.
That's fine. There should be.
I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying there's a lot of dumb shit that happens.
So you're saying that first scene is probably the best thing in the movie?
It might be.
Stop watching.
It might be.
Get out while you can.
I don't want to like quantify it because again, I saw the movie once and it was almost a year ago.
Well, to be clear, I'm gonna see this movie once. Like, there's not. I don't see repeat viewings.
No, it's not Encanto.
Right. Well, I haven't seen that yet either.
I can't bring myself to even watch it, and I like Mortal Kombat. I just feel like I don't know. I haven't heard anything really good about it.
I heard very positive things when it was out, like to begin with.
I just remember Wombat's review saying, you know how Mortal Kombat's all based around a tournament to like save the universe or whatever? Well, there's no tournament in this. I was like, that's weird.
That's part of the plot. Yeah. The plot is this is pre-tournament, right? That's what we're trying to stop it before it gets to the tournament.
Right. All right. Fuck that.
I also watched I've watched 2 hours of Get Back, the Beatles documentary. That is fantastic.
We're not allowed to talk about rock and roll documentaries on this show.
Oh, fine. But it is in chronological order.
It is.
We talked about it.
It's a good one.
I thought
But he did. I hadn't talked about it.
I know. And you're allowed to talk. No, you're allowed. No, I'm just saying. No, you said you were not allowed to talk about it. And I said he'd already talked about it. Oh. But I'm not saying that you can't talk about it. I watched about a half an hour of it, maybe a little longer. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's amazing. Something. You have to, I mean, it's amazing just to see like how good it looks and sounds. That they
captured all this footage.
It's unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah.
They captured all that footage, the cleanup of it, because I've seen some of that footage when it wasn't clean.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It looks amazing. You learn so much. There's so much insight that you gather. You really hate Michael Lindsay Hogg. It's, it's a whole thing.
He's just trying to do his job.
He's the funny thing is, it's not even that he's bad at it. He was just the wrong guy for that job. Because he's directed decent things if you look at his IMDb page in his career. But, oh my goodness, he's like sitting there and he's like talking to the Beatles. Is like,
to be clear, we're talking about the director that's in the film, not Peter Jackson, who that puts all this footage together and cuts it down to this.
Right. He did a good job.
Michael Lindsay Hogg was hired to direct a TV special starring the Beatles. And he keeps pitching this idea where they're going to play in Iraq, and this is the 60s, so it's a different Iraq than we know now. In this ancient ruins of some Acropolis type place, and it's going to be huge and extravagant because, as he puts it, no one wants to just see the Beatles on a stage playing songs. And I don't think anyone in any documentary I've ever seen has ever been more wrong in a statement in their entire lives. No, all anyone wants to see is just the Beatles on a stage playing Beatles songs. They haven't performed live in like 5 years.
Especially today.
And yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy because at the time, because that was just the time, that it really feels like these people around the Beatles didn't really feel like they were as special as we think the Beatles are now. They weren't putting them on that pedestal of, oh my God, it's the Beatles.
A little bit. I mean,
it's not. I feel like the reverence isn't there like it would be now. Like again, you have Michael Lindsay Hogg basically saying, no one wants to see you guys just play. I'm like,
kind of, but at the same time, it feels like he's like, I don't know. He feels in over his head. Right?
Oh, he's definitely over his head.
He's like, I don't know what to do with the Beatles.
But he also had just directed. He's coming from the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. Have you ever seen that special?
I have not. I'm not a huge Stones guy. I like some of their stuff, but
it's not even really a Rolling Stones thing. I mean, yes, obviously it's Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. They're in there, but it was this TV special that they filmed, and it was the Rolling Stones, and it was the Who. And it was John Lennon playing with Eric Clapton. It's really weird. And it has all these different musical breaks and these live performances. And it was shelved. It was shown, I think, once in England and then shelved. They re-released it a couple of years ago. And it's really good. It's worth your time. But I could see why, coming off of that, he wanted to do that, but with the Beatles. Because it worked. If it worked with the Stones, it'll work with the Beatles. But it just...
Totally different. Totally different experience.
I'm not arguing that with you.
Sounds like you are.
I'm arguing that with Michael Lindsay Hogg.
You're gonna win the argument.
I know. He's still alive, I think.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna lose.
I know. Anyway, I did watch a documentary though. I watched the Super Dave Osborne documentary on HBO Max. The Bob Einstein one. The Life and Times of Super Dave. It's really good. It's sad, but it's good.
Right.
It's also really funny. So I recommend that. If you're not familiar, Bob Einstein, aka Super Dave, is a comedian. He passed away last year, and he was also on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
If you want to just want to laugh and not be depressed, you could probably just go on YouTube and just type in Super Dave and just watch all the old clips from like Letterman and stuff, and
probably have an official
page.
But
then you won't learn about the life and times.
It's probably depressing though, isn't it?
No, I mean, most of his life up until he, died was fairly happy.
Oh, okay, good. You made it sound like it was depressing. I got worried.
It's sad because he passed away, and all these people are like talking about how great he was and how much they loved him.
Right.
There's, not that you could spoil a documentary, but at one point, like, they actually have his granddaughter on, who's like 9, talking about how great her grandpa was.
I don't need that fucking shit. I'm just gonna watch those
and
clips.
It's like, oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna watch him get shot out of a cannon.
Mm-hmm. And then they also have that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or him trying to set the world record for getting a drive-through order out. And you didn't, and then
yeah, he gets run over by the car. I remember. I've seen that one. I've seen that one recently.
I mean, but you're laughing because it's funny as hell.
I think when he died, I just went and watched a bunch.
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
Yeah. I watched Shanafan like guilted me into watching Boba Fett because he was making fun of all my Asian dating shows.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, right. I felt bullied. I felt bullied. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and watch Boba Fett by myself and just see how it goes.
As intended.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Is that how it's intended?
I'm pretty sure Boba Fett's supposed to be a solo experience.
Maybe. Well, I only got like 5 minutes in because it's not that it was bad. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you what happens in the first, like, not even 5 minutes, like the first 3 minutes.
He crawls out of the pit.
Yeah, and you watch it happen, right? Did you watch it?
No, I just know what happens in a Boba Fett
TV show. Do you know how he does it?
There's a dead
stormtrooper in there. Spoiler, okay? Spoiler for the first minute of Boba Fett. There's a dead stormtrooper in there, and he pulls. I guess stormtroopers have oxygen hoses into their. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, they've got some kind of hose.
Yeah, they have the oxygen tank on their back.
Not really. It's just like a little drawing. I don't think it's. Anyway, he takes that hose out, and then he uses his flamethrower and blasts his way. But anyway, and then he comes out. But
and that's the Boba Fett MacGyver show.
It was pretty good. It was fine. Okay, it was fine. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just telling you, like, I'm giving you my experience watching it. So he does that, and I'm like, wow, all right. And then you see him pop out into the world. But instead of like coming out through like the Sarlacc's mouth or body, he just like comes up through the sand, like next to it. And I'm like, oh, he just came up through the sand, all right, whatever. Like, you don't want to dwell on that like too much. But I was like, how could you dig through that? Anyway, so he's like dying though, because he's in the desert now, and he was in the thing, and he's covered in the slime. He can't really move. He's just sort of there, and like the Jawas are picking up his armor. They steal his armor to go sell it.
This all sounds exactly how I would picture it.
Exactly. Yes. That's why I don't feel like I'm really spoiling anything, right? This is all like the first like 2 minutes. He's still just like lying there in the desert, like dying. Like people. Then the sand people come, right?
They're called Tusken Raiders, you racist.
Sorry, Tusken Raiders. And and I just lost it. He looks like he's dead. Okay, he's been lying in the desert for who knows how long now. After crawling out of the thing, the Tusken Raiders come. They pull out this fucking worm. It looks like a alien dick. Okay, It's an alien dick, and they jizz it right into his mouth. It's the most ridiculous fucking thing I ever saw. And I don't know if you're on Instagram at all. There's like on Reels, there's some meme where you play this song whenever somebody's eating a hot dog or doing anything like any guy is doing something phallic, and it's like a homophobic song that pops up. And somehow Instagram Reels just serves that to me like nonstop. And it's just like over. And I watched that thing and I just burst out laughing.
No, it was dumb, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I just focused on making one of those Instagram Reels with that thing in it, and just to amuse myself. And I turned it off, and then just like showed Mrs. GB. I'm sure the show is fine. It's just like that was just it's ridiculous. It's an alien dick jizzing in his mouth to bring him back to life.
No, I think your review is pretty spot on. The show is just fine.
I'm sure it's fine, right? Like
it's fine.
It's
fine.
Just like, but I lost it. I just fucking lost it.
I've watched the second episode. I didn't watch the episode that came out today yet.
Someone said the second episode is like fantastic.
I like the second episode. Again, though, it was fine. I wasn't like, when it was over, I wasn't like, yeah, this is the TV show that makes Star Wars great again. But I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I'll watch the third one. I'll probably finish watching the season. But I'm not. It's when I woke up this morning, I didn't like run to the TV and be like, oh, I gotta watch Boba Fett before it gets spoiled.
Boba Fett.
I'll probably exactly.
Boba Fett.
I'll probably watch it on Saturday and on my own time, and
alien jizz in my mouth.
Yeah,
come back to life. Yep. Talk about coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was that. We started watching The Great Season 2. I highly recommend. Chip, did you start watching that?
No.
Great. Got to watch that. It might be a little hardcore for you guys, though. I don't know.
Is it?
I mean,
does it have the sex in it?
It has a lot of sex talk in it, and it's not graphic in any way. It's not graphic. Oh, you want graphic? or what are you looking for? I can't tell.
I don't know.
It's very smart
for me, but you want me to watch it. I don't know.
I don't know what you want. It has it's a very adult show. It's not graphic like The Naked Director, where you're watching a lot of fucking. And there's nudity. There's not really nudity in this.
What service is this on?
Hulu. You have that one?
I have that one.
It's good. Check it out. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. And it's not depressing. It's smart and funny and raunchy, but not gross. A little gross sometimes. There might be some gross. Wombat's just reading the chat. He's not listening at all.
I'm listening.
What am I talking about?
You're talking about The Great still and how it's fine.
Did you watch it? No, it's not fine. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the best shows.
I know it. I think it got nominated for a handful of them SAG awards, right?
I don't know about that, but the guy, like, I remember the guy that plays Peter the Great not Peter the Great, Peter, who is
Peter and the Wolf?
Beast in X-Men, in the X-Men movies, Beast. Yes. You probably know him as that. He's so good in this. Like, he's hilarious. And his character speaks very quickly. But every fucking thing out of his mouth is hilarious. It's like a great role. It's a lot better than Beast, I feel. I don't know if it pays as well as Beast, but it's a lot more rewarding probably in other ways. Anyway, you got to watch The Great on Hulu.
Did you watch Encanto yet?
We have not watched that yet. Ty doesn't want to watch movies with us, not because he doesn't want to necessarily, he's not really opposed to the idea, but he'd rather just play games with his friends if given the option. So
I understand that.
So I don't want to force him to watch the movie or any movie with us.
Are you going to watch Eternals?
Someone actually asked that. I have that on the outline. I would watch that. I want to check out Kumail.
Yeah.
I want to check that out.
I have lots of thoughts on Eternals that I was not allowed to give when I saw it. So I would like you guys to
Why? What happened? Who the Marvel Police?
Yeah, the Marvel Police.
They are tough.
Yeah, no, you guys are like, don't talk about it because we're gonna see it. And I was like, all right, I won't talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Good.
I'll watch it not everybody in my house can be in the same room at the same time right now. So
Oh, lockdown.
Yeah.
Are we on lockdown?
Half of my family, we're split down the middle right now of COVID and non-COVID. So.
Is it boys versus girls, or
is it boys versus girls?
Nice. Boys are winning?
Yeah.
Boys are winning. Cool. I mean, not cool, but I mean,
yeah.
Stay safe.
Everybody's
stay
doing fine.
Good. You have a big house, so I feel like you could like make it work. You got a lot of air in there to spread out the viral load.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about the viral load. I feel. You know. No.
Yeah.
You're a scientist. You should know these things.
I do. I'm just waiting for my time to come.
We all are. Right. If not this one, the next one. If not this variant.
Right.
Some other one. I stopped going to Orange Theory for a while because I was worried. But I was going crazy. So I went back this week. I wore a mask. But not a lot of other people did. It was like very full. Like 29 out of 30 people, and maybe 3 people were wearing a mask. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do at the moment because this one is super contagious.
Right.
Like infinitely more people that I know have gotten this one.
Right. I don't mind wearing the mask. It's good. Like if you burp, nobody knows. That's like, it's just between yourself and, you can just go nuts and they're not going to smell it either. They won't hear it or smell it. So that's a plus.
That's why I wear a mask on my butt.
See, that doesn't work. If that was effective.
Butt masks.
Butt
Wombats
masks.
butt masks.
All right, let's move on.